Areas that are very important and cogent that students writing WAEC especially should be well acquainted with. I told us we have the comprehensive area, that is reading of passage, the grammar level, your grammar must be up and going, the vocabulary development, which is what we want to look at this morning, the oral work, the test of oral, that has to do with the sounds of English. Then lastly, the writing English. Yes, we picked a topic yesterday where we look at the speech writing, but this morning we want to look at vocabulary development and we'll be focusing on answering questions in the nearest and opposite in meaning section. Yes, in every exams, not only in WAEC, there is a section where you are meant to be tested on your knowledge of how well you are good in interpreting words and how well you know the meaning of several words in English and be able to replace them with another word. Yes, that has to text your bank of words. So they ask to replace it with a word that's nearest to the meaning of that word or that has the same meaning of that word, which is what we normally refer to as. That has to do with meanings. How well you are able to tell the meaning of different words in English. Yes, that has to do with your vocabulary. The vocabulary are your level of grammar and your level of words that can be difficult to interpret, but checking the meaning in the dictionary. Take for instance, you are given this word in a sentence where you are asked to look, because in this section in WAEC, the instruction is that students should replace an underlined word with a word that is nearest in meaning to such word or that is opposite in meaning to such word, which is what we refer to as antonyms. Antonyms. Nearest in meaning has to do with synonyms. Opposite in meaning has to do with what? Antonyms. Now, your level of the bank of words that you have, knowing the meaning of words that you've come across, will help you in this area, which is why as an English student, you have to be friendly with your dictionary. Yes. I remember during my secondary school days, whenever I'm walking in the streets and I come across a new word that I don't know the meaning, I quickly check the meaning when I get home. That was the period where we don't even have a smartphone, compared to now that students are at the liberty to checking words in the dictionary on their phones. But meanwhile, a lot of students don't make good use of any convenience time. Now, looking at this word, for instance, the young lad, and the lad here is underlined. If you don't know the meaning of this word, it might be difficult to some extent for you to know the word, another word that can replace it. Yes. But meanwhile, over the years, I've told students that even if you don't know the meaning of a word in a sentence where you are asked to replace it with another word that means the same thing, that is nearest in meaning, there are how you can be able to tackle such questions and be able to get your options correctly. Which is why I've been able to design 3 ways in which that can help you, the hints that can help you to answering questions in this section in WAEC, especially for JAMB candidates. I believe some of us here want to write JAMB. Yes, this will help you. Number one thing is that as a student, before you can go ahead to answer questions on this section, there are things that you need to put in place. Number one, the dictionary meaning. Dictionary meaning of the underlined word. We are still going to check the past questions to be able to establish all of these things. Number one thing is that knowing the dictionary meaning of the word will go a long way to help you in being able to choose the option that have the same meaning to that word or the opposite in meaning as instructed in the option. The section. Are you getting me? When you know the meaning of the word, you don't have to struggle enough. The young lad is not here. Now let's say this is the word that is being underlined and you have an option A, damsel, where you are asked to look for the nearest meaning in the option. Damsel, B, adults, C, ball. Let's say your B option is student. Now, looking at the options here, if you are not careful, you might not be able to know the meaning. If you don't know the meaning of this word, you will struggle. But if you know the meaning, you discover that you don't have to waste time than pick the word that have the same meaning to that word. Now, what's the meaning of this word? A lad. It's a still student.
A boy.
Yes, a boy. Thank you, Splendor. A boy. That's helps him because he knows the meaning of this word. So in that situation under this section, you will not struggle too much. If you know the dictionary meaning of that word, you discover that you don't go straight to the option and pick the option that has the same meaning. And if it is opposite now, then you can go for this as the right option. I don't know if anybody is getting that. That is knowing the dictionary meaning, and which is why you have to work well with your dictionary. In this section, there are things that there's a particular thing that always tell students in English. You see, in preparing for English exam is very simple. English exam preparation or preparing for English exam is very simple compared to other subjects. Why? Because the questions, they are in section. There's a section for comprehension. There's a section for grammar. There's a section for vocabulary. There's another word for it. Person has no money or is not wealthy at all. You can't take it. So this, while you're working on this section, fine. Students believe that in WAEC there will be an epiline in the objective section. But meanwhile, there is a more advantage in knowing what you're doing on yourself and be able to check things. I don't know if everybody is getting me. There's more advantage if you work on yourself. Now, for instance, now you want to work on this section in the exam. I mean, while you're preparing for an exam, go to the past question. Read like 2, 3. Read from the previous year of that exam. Then read like 5 years back. Take your dictionary. Check meaning of words. You'll see that you'll be acquainted with some of these words. There are a lot of words that are repeated in this section in WAEC, even in JAMB. They do repeat words. So if you are familiar with a lot of words, like this word now, this word is a JAMB word.